this man decided to venture into the forest late at night. Suddenly, he saw something chilling. A figure standing eerily still near a tree. The man shone his flashlight at it, but the figure didn't move. It just stared back at him.
What's that? Go.
Terrified, the man quickly fled the forest. Some believe it was a prank, others suspect it could be someone under the influence, but some wonder if it was something far more sinister. A Reddit user in Switzerland shared a chilling experience from a nighttime forest walk. Eerie, childlike screams echoed through the trees, creating an unsettling atmosphere. The uploader insisted there were no foxes in the area, dismissing a common explanation for such sounds. If it wasn't foxes, what could have been behind those haunting cries? A Reddit user shared a creepy experience from a night outside in a wooded area. They heard faint giggling-like noises and thought it might be a coyote. But then, they saw a grey figure moving oddly around the area and running up a tree. At first, they thought it was their cat, but the movements were unnatural, almost monkey-like. When they went inside, they saw their cat safely resting in its bed. The most unsettling part was the figure's eyes, which were very close together and reflected bright red. They posted the story on Reddit, hoping someone could identify what kind of creature it might have been. A hunter set up a trail cam in Menominee, Michigan to monitor the wildlife in the area. When he checked the footage, he was stunned by what he saw. In the foreground, a wild animal is grazing peacefully, but when the camera zooms into the background, a large dark figure can be seen standing still in the shadows. It's clearly not a tree, as in the second shot, the figure has vanished. What could it be? A person, a creature, or something more unexplained? These hunters were preparing for another hunt when they were startled by eerie howls echoing through the woods.
They're not all dead. Are they gonna pick up that sound? Yeah.
The sounds felt like a warning or a call to gather, prompting the hunters to decide it was time to leave. A mysterious trail cam photo from the North Grapeview Lake trails has sparked curiosity online. According to the poster, the image was taken after they and a friend triggered several trail cameras while running through the woods around 8 PM that evening. They explained they had started running after hearing something moving close behind them. When reviewing the footage later, they found a chilling detail. A photo showing the poster running in the foreground, while a dark figure stood motionless between the trees in the background, watching them. Adding to the intrigue, the area has reportedly seen a rise in Bigfoot sightings. Is this another one? While hunting in the forest, this person heard strange noises and started recording. Suddenly, a humanoid figure can be seen darting across a road at high speed before vanishing into the woods. The swift, unexplained movement of the figure left viewers deeply divided. Some speculated it could be a cryptid, but others were more skeptical, dismissing it as an animal or perhaps an elaborate prank. Reddit user most_hallucinations and a friend ventured into the woods after spotting something strange during their hunt. They recorded a 50-minute video, hoping to capture what they couldn't see with their own eyes. While nothing unusual stood out during their walk, the footage later revealed a mysterious ghostly figure. What did they capture that night? In this trail camera footage, 3 deer can be seen grazing peacefully on the right side of the screen. Out of nowhere, a mist-like mass floats across the left side of the frame. The deer notice it immediately, raising their heads and tracking its movement with their eyes. Upon slowing the footage, it's clear the mist doesn't behave like smoke or fog. Its movements seem deliberate, almost as though guided by an unseen force. The deer's reactions seem to indicate that something otherworldly is at play. Some in the paranormal community speculate that the mist could be a spirit or entity crossing into our world. A hunter was filming with his thermal night vision camera when he captured something unusual in the Canadian wilderness. At first, he dismissed the figure as a bird's nest, but when he returned for a second shot, a humanoid figure appeared, moving through the trees. The figure's presence in the pitch-black forest was unsettling, especially since the area seemed clear during the first pass. It's nearly impossible for a human to navigate such a secluded forest in complete darkness without a flashlight. And what made it even stranger was the hunter didn't hear any rustling or unusual sounds around him. The mysterious humanoid figure remains unexplained, and the hunter never saw it again. Reddit user CakeTheLegend69 was investigating an area of the wood to hunt. While taking photos, she captured something unsettling. A figure standing in the distance. She mentioned that everyone in her group was behind her, looking at other areas, so it was none of them. Later, they discovered the area was once an abandoned logging town that mysteriously vanished, leaving behind 13 old graves with weathered headstones. Many wondered if it revealed something paranormal or if there could be a logical explanation. This man was driving home after a hunting trip when he spotted a bear by the side of the road and decided to approach it. Suddenly, this happened. The bear got startled and charged toward him. In a panic, the man scrambled onto his car for safety. Luckily, both the bear and the man emerged unharmed from the terrifying encounter. Reddit user Sagfo shared a chilling clip of his walk through the forest after 2 a.m. Listen carefully. Are these screams from a wild animal, a person, or something even more frightening? The user ran for his life and wasn't planning on taking a nighttime walk again anytime soon. While out on a hunting trip to celebrate a birthday, this person encountered something truly terrifying in the forest. A dark figure can be seen standing on the other side of the road. The figure stood motionless, staring directly at them. Despite searching online, they found no similar descriptions of the ominous figure, which he and his girlfriend dubbed the Ghoul. Who or what they encountered that day is still unknown. A man was walking home through a wooded area at 1 a.m. when he felt like he was being followed.
So this frickin' thing, it's staring at me. It followed me home from the gifting rock. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I think I don't know what to do. But it followed me home and it is absolutely staring at me right now. Alright.
He thought it might be an animal with reflective eyes, but something about it felt off. Without more details, it's hard to determine exactly what it could have been. A YouTuber named SE Styles was camping in the woods of Hinton, Canada, when he heard the haunting howl of a lone wolf. As night fell, they realized they might not be alone. There was a whole pack of wolves nearby. The camper wondered aloud if the wolves were reacting to their presence or if the howl had been a warning to stay away. With their senses heightened, the tension in the air was palpable, and they were left to wonder just how many wolves were watching them in the darkness. This man was hunting in the woods when he suddenly heard this. Strange, eerie grunts filled the air. Could these sounds just be from wild animals, or is it something more sinister? Bruce Cosier, a wildlife videographer, traveled to the Sunshine Coast in Canada, an area known for Bigfoot sightings. After speaking with a local who claimed to have seen Sasquatch in the region, Bruce decided to investigate. While hiking with his family, they heard strange noises coming from the trees. Bruce began filming, though the bright daylight made it hard to clearly see what was happening in real time. Later, when reviewing the footage at home, Bruce noticed a figure crouching behind a tree, which he believed might be Sasquatch.
Okay, here's the original picture, the object behind the tree. And I'm going to color in what I see, red, and then dotted red, that there's something else behind the bushes there that could be extension of the object.
The figure was hard to identify, but Bruce was convinced it could be the elusive creature. Who knows? A man and his dog were hiking in Huron National Forest in Michigan when they suddenly stopped after hearing terrifying cries from an unknown creature deep in the woods.
I don't know what the hell that is over there.
The dog ran towards the sound, and the cries grew louder as it got closer. Realizing the danger, the man decided to leave immediately. While driving back from a camping trip, a group noticed something disturbing by the roadside.
What'd you see?
What the frick is that?
What? It's behind that tree.
Nana, what is that?
Near a tree, they spotted a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness. Its unsettling movements were enough to make them leave without looking back. This video was captured by hunter Michael Green in the Eerie National Forest. This footage allegedly captures Bigfoot on a thermal camera. Take a look. The video shows a large figure moving among the trees, but its poor quality makes it hard to identify. Green insists it's Bigfoot, citing the figure's size and movements as proof. However, without clearer evidence, it's hard to say for sure. An experienced camper spent the night alone in a remote Indonesian forest, seeking peace and solitude. As darkness fell, strange wailing sounds echoed through the trees.
Siapa kamu? Hei. Siapa kamu? Halo. Masih seperti ada yang minta tolong teman-teman, kayak nangis. Itu tadi tangan seperti apa teman-teman? La ilaha illallah, jelas sekali. Seperti cakar. Subhanallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Apa itu? Tikus ya? Kamu jangan meneror aku ya. Apa ya teman-teman? Itunya jatuh. Seperti bunyi itu kesenggol tikus ya. Jangan-jangan kesenggol tikus ya. Astagfirullahaladzim, ada yang nangis, siapa itu? Hei. Kedengeran gak teman-teman? La ilaha illallah. Seperti dari depan sini teman-teman.
Initially dismissing them as animals or wind, he returned to his tent. But the noises grew louder, a guttural dragging sound that unsettled him. When he peered outside, the forest appeared empty.
Kok seperti ada sesuatu sih, apa ya? Perasaan aku aja apa kali ya? seperti ada yang aneh loh teman-teman. Astagfirullahaladzim, la ilaha illallah. Di mana kamu?
Later, he saw a translucent figure, a woman floating above his tent, swaying eerily. Frozen with fear, he rushed outside but found no trace of her. Unable to explain the experience, he packed up at dawn. What do you think he saw in the woods? On a hunting trip, two men set out to film their adventure. As they moved through the dense forest, they spotted a large figure in the distance. As they crept closer, the realization hit. They were not looking at a bear.
When it stopped right there at that pine, when it stopped at that pine right next to us, it stared at us, which seemed like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was staring back for a long time. At that point, I knew it wasn't a bear.
The creature was far too large and appeared to be covered in dark fur. The men quickly speculated this might be Bigfoot. They filmed the creature sitting on 2 feet, staring back at them. Hoping to get a clearer shot, they tried to follow the creature, but it vanished before they could get closer. A Reddit user shared these images from an old trail camera featuring his brother. However, if you look closely, a ghostly figure seems to be walking in the background. In the second image, taken just seconds later, the figure is gone. His brother, who was certain he was alone at the time, couldn't explain what the camera had captured. The stark difference between his brother's appearance and the apparition makes me believe it could be a ghost. In 2006, 2 brothers were camping in British Columbia when suddenly, one of them spotted this.
Wait, stay! Stay back!
A large dark figure can be seen walking in the distance, which they first thought was a bear. But as they looked closer, they realized it wasn't a bear, and they quickly left the area.
Okay, this is where we were when we just saw 15 minutes ago a live, I don't know, some sort of humanoid thing, I don't know. We're in the enchanted forest at Tofino, right by that tree over there. Yeah, that one. We saw it. Let's go see if we can, I don't know.
Okay.
Holy shit. Okay, come on guys. Okay, right here. Come check the ground. I don't know. Maybe, God. Wait, come here. Come here. Look at that. This is, he ran backwards, right? Over there somewhere. See, that could be a possible footprint. I don't know.
Could be.
Like, look. Yeah, I bet, like, any foot would.
When they returned later, they found huge footprints on the ground that looked like they belonged to an enormous creature. In the video, the brothers explained that the figure they saw was about 6 feet tall and hunched over. While some people think it might have been a giant black bear, the strange footprints raised doubts. A Reddit user shared a photo from a game camera near Crystal Mountain, Washington, taken by their uncle. The photo shows a secluded snowy forest, but in the lower right corner, something unsettling catches the eye. A strange figure with a bald head and an eerie grin that doesn't quite look human. Curious and confused, the Reddit user and their uncle decide to post it online, hoping to get some answers. However, no one seems to know exactly what the figure is. It's important to note that the reflection in the glass is simply their uncle's buddy's finger, nothing crazy. But the creature itself remains a mystery. Is it a ghost, someone wearing a mask, or perhaps an unknown creature lurking in the woods? This trail cam photo from the woods in Texas shows deer grazing peacefully, but in the background, a pale humanoid figure lurks in the shadows. Some viewers speculate it could be a skinwalker, while others believe it might be the ghost of an old-time miner. However, we can't rule out the possibility that it could simply be a deer captured from an unusual angle. What do you think? While hiking in Mexico's remote Cerro de San Juan forest, a group of friends encountered something truly chilling.
Graba, Andrés, graba, güey.
At around 6 a.m., a blood-curdling scream echoed through the dense trees. The sound was unnervingly close, leaving the group frozen in fear as they tried to make sense of what they had just heard. Though familiar with the area, they knew no one else should have been out there at such an early hour. The unnatural nature of the scream sent shivers down their spines. Feeling an overwhelming sense of unease, the group abandoned their planned route and hurried back to safety, unsure of what or who might be lurking in the forest. Vivian Hoffman was driving into the forest when she captured something eerie and shared it on the Kentucky Mysteries Facebook page. The video shows a blurry figure that seems to be wearing a cloak and a hat. Many comments speculate that it could be a ghost, a shadow figure, or perhaps a very creepy person. Given Kentucky's haunted reputation, the mysterious figure only deepens the sense of unease. A hunter noticed strange movement on a security camera at his cabin in the woods. A tall figure moved along the tree line, covered in something white. Confused, the hunter wondered how anyone could be there, as his cabin is deep in the forest, far from any human activity. Though he had experienced strange occurrences before, he had never actually seen anything like this. Two hunters ventured into the Missouri woods to search for a mysterious figure set to haunt their neighborhood. As they explored a forest clearing, they suddenly spotted something.
So Ben, how do you think that thorn pierced your, back?
A dark figure kneeling in the woods, staring at them without a word. The terrifying encounter was brief, causing them to drop the camera and flee in fear. Later, they returned to retrieve the footage and posted it on YouTube. If you listen closely, just before they see the figure, one of them mentions feeling a piercing, cold stare.
So Ben, how do you think that thorn pierced your, back?
What did they really see? Nick Foster filmed a walk through the forest with his dog, Pop. During the walk, as Pop explored the area, Nick noticed this.
Come here. Come on. This way.
A pale figure moving between the trees in the distance. The figure was partially hidden by thick vegetation, but it stood out because of its movement and unusual appearance. Nick immediately called Pop and decided to leave. After reviewing the footage, he became convinced that the figure might have been the ghost of a lost soldier, wearing a helmet and a heavy coat. The encounter was strange because Nick and Pop were alone in the forest, with no one else in sight. Many viewers who saw the video also thought the figure resembled a soldier from another time. Nick wondered if the forest had once been the site of military activity or a battle. 13 years ago, a photo was taken during a camping trip in the Arapaho and Roosevelt National Forests just west of Denver. At first glance, everything appears normal, but a closer inspection reveals something unusual. A figure can be seen among the trees. Some believe it could be Bigfoot, a creature rumored to inhabit remote areas. Cryptozoologists are thrilled by the photo and the rugged, isolated landscape of the mountains, which makes it a plausible location for a sighting of this legendary creature. Matthew Van Hoos, a YouTuber, was enjoying a peaceful hike in nature when he suddenly heard something chilling. A loud, human-like voice coming from the woods. He distinctly heard the words, "Help me," before the voice quickly faded, replaced by a strange sound that didn't seem human at all. Skeptics suggest it could have been a wild animal. Matthew decided to investigate, but found nothing when he looked around. After waiting for an hour, he hears no further sounds and decides to leave, leaving the mystery unresolved. This man heard strange voices near his farm and decided to investigate one night. To his shock, he spotted this: a figure standing silently by a tree, staring directly at him. When he pointed his flashlight at it, the figure didn't move. It remained unnervingly still. Too frightened to get closer, the man kept his distance and watched from afar. He later reported that the figure stood there all night, but by morning it had vanished without a trace. Ocelot_Revolver89, a 34-year-old veteran and hunter, shared a disturbing event from his time scouting a hunting spot in Kentucky. While setting up a trail camera to monitor a prime hunting spot, he initially captured several photos of a large buck roaming the area. But then, the wildlife activity mysteriously stopped. When he checked the camera, it was still functional, even snapping a photo of him working near the site. Curious, he reviewed the last image of the buck, and what he saw next left him shaken to his core. Standing in the shadows of the forest was a pale, ghostly figure, its form unnervingly human, yet otherworldly. The disturbing sight was enough to make him abandon the area entirely. A man was walking in the woods when he came across an abandoned structure and decided to record. Suddenly, he noticed something eerie.
Where's he gone? Where's he?
A figure in a white robe, calmly walking before vanishing into the woods. When the man approached, there was no sign of the figure. He almost thought he was hallucinating, but thankfully he had the footage as evidence. A hunter set up a trail camera to capture wildlife, and at first, that's exactly what it did. But then, something unexpected appeared. A person in a suit, wearing a creepy gas mask and carrying what seemed like a bag or a jerry can. The photo was sent to the police, but the identity and intentions of the person remain unknown. When this hunter checked his trail camera, he was shocked to see this. A figure in a white robe standing alone in the woods late at night. The image is blurry, leaving it unclear whether it's a ghostly figure or something else entirely. The strange scene raises many questions. How did she end up in the middle of nowhere, and what caused the unusual blur in the image? Could this be a supernatural event, or is there another explanation for this eerie encounter in the woods? A hiker captured something he had never seen before.
Guys, I think so. Go back.
A dramatic eruption of a mud volcano, with thick mud and soil spewing from the ground. Mud volcanoes form when gas and mud build up under pressure, creating fractures that allow the mixture to surface. While less destructive than traditional volcanoes, the sudden eruptions still seemed dangerous, and the hiker wisely decided it was best to find a safer spot to hike. A bow hunter scouting atop an abandoned coal mine captured something eerie on his trail camera. In the footage, a tall figure, estimated at 10 feet compared to a 5'9" reference, crosses an old mining road, slowing as it passes. The area, active from the 1890s to the 1940s, saw dozens of miners lost in cave-ins and explosions, with many bodies left sealed in the mine. The bow hunter wonders if it could be the ghost of one of the miners who never left. This man was hunting in the forests of the Pacific Northwest when he heard strange, unsettling noises and started recording. Suddenly, he spotted something unusual. A tall figure partially obscured by the trees, walking through the forest. Its body appeared to be covered in thick hair, blending almost seamlessly into the dense forest. As the creatures moved, it emitted disturbing sounds, heightening the tension, before disappearing into the forest's depths. Was this an elusive Bigfoot sighting? These men were driving down a remote dirt road at night when they spotted something truly unsettling. A figure dressed in white stood motionless in the middle of the road. When she finally moved, she hobbled off into the darkness and vanished. The men tried searching for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Who or what did they encounter that night? A man was searching for wildlife in the Australian outback when he spotted a creature he couldn't identify. He decided to film it and post it online. The strange being had glowing white eyes, leaving many to believe it could be the Yowie, a cryptid similar to Bigfoot. Witnesses describe the Yowie as having a large forehead and moving with rapid, jerky motions, often hiding or moving stealthily. Some even speculate that it may be aware of being watched, as it seems to hide or move quickly when it detects a presence. Though the man wasn't fully convinced, he couldn't explain what he had seen either. This hunter was out in the forest when he spotted something truly unbelievable. The man seems to be chasing after something. After a few moments, he stops, focusing his camera on a distant area, revealing a massive dark creature moving through the bushes. As the cameraman gets closer, the creature is seen standing upright, its posture more human-like than that of a gorilla. The creature's long arms and tall stature make it look like something other than an ordinary ape. Unfortunately, the location of this encounter is unknown, leaving the sighting shrouded in mystery. Reddit user Sagfo shared a chilling clip of his walk through the forest after 2 a.m. Listen carefully. Are these screams from a wild animal, a person, or something even more frightening? The user ran for his life and wasn't planning on taking a nighttime walk again anytime soon. This man went out on a hunting trip. While filming the beauty of the wilderness, he unknowingly captured something far more unsettling. A large figure with long limbs appeared, its shape unmistakable as it stood motionless in the forest. At the time, he didn't notice it, but after viewing the footage later, he was shocked by what he saw. The figure's presence left him with more questions than answers. Christopher was driving through a desert in an unnamed Arabic-speaking country when he noticed a strange figure in the distance.
Well, it can be just dead. I think that's a German owner or whatever. German owner or is it a man or is it a guy? It's a woman. It's a woman.
As he got closer, he realized it was a woman. Concerned that she might be stranded, he turned around to offer help, but she had vanished. With no place to hide in the open desert, her sudden disappearance seemed impossible, leading them to believe they had encountered an Arab ghost. A hunter placed a trail camera deep in the woods to monitor a feeding area and observe the wildlife that passed through. But around 2 a.m., the camera recorded something unsettling. At first, a shadowy, barely discernible figure appeared in the distance. As it moved closer, the figure became clearer. It looked like a person in a long dress running frantically through the forest. Then another figure appeared, crawling on the ground, its long, dark hair obscuring its face, wearing a white robe. What exactly did the trail camera capture that night? Were these just two people? If so, why were they dressed like that, and what were they doing in the middle of a forest at such an odd hour? A Reddit user shared a chilling photo taken at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania at the Devil's Den rock formation on July 3, 2022. The image showed a strange apparition that wasn't noticed at the time. There were no other people or light sources present when the photo was taken. It wasn't until later that they realized the unusual figure, leading to speculation about its connection to paranormal activity at this historic site. A Russian man set out to explore a field with his metal detector, but he stumbled upon something he didn't expect.
Привидение. І ще так світиться іменно як фосфор, таким зеленим, таким класно, яскраво. Якийсь привид.
The video captures what appears to be an eerie apparition, which the man believes to be a roadside phantom. However, it could also be a road sign marker seen from an odd angle. Is it truly something unexplainable, or just an unusual sight his mind has mistaken for something ghostly? During a nighttime forest ride, a biker recorded his journey with a GoPro, only to discover a chilling surprise in the footage later. As he navigated the dark trail, his headlights briefly illuminated a ghostly humanoid figure standing motionless in the middle of the path. Strangely, the rider hadn't noticed anything unusual during the ride and passed by without stopping. What could the GoPro have captured that eerie night? Reddit user Ray the Master shared a mysterious image captured by a hunting camera in a remote area he knew well. The photo appears to show an older woman carrying a bucket, deep in the forest, an area where people rarely venture, especially at night. In the post, Ray assures viewers the image is not a hoax, emphasizing that he's not a believer in ghosts or the supernatural. But this one he can't seem to explain either. A lost hiker makes his way deep into the dense woods, recording his journey along the way. Suddenly, he hears a disturbing noise ahead. Turning his camera in that direction, he is shocked to see this.
Oh my god.
A tall, dark figure standing in the shadows, staring directly at him. As soon as it realizes it has been noticed, the figure quickly vanishes back into the darkness. Unfortunately, the video is grainy, making it hard to make out specific details. A Reddit user shared a chilling photo captured by their trail camera, showing two human-like figures eerily floating above the ground. Locals refer to these apparitions as the Tree People, believing them to be ghosts haunting the forest. The area is infamous for paranormal encounters, adding an air of mystery to the unsettling image. YouTuber Moors the Wizard went into a remote forest after hearing from a former cult member and a farmer about a place called the Lucifer Circle. This hidden location, deep in the woods, was rumored to have been used for dark rituals. Upon arrival, Moors found disturbing evidence. Scattered bones resembling parts of a spine, arm, and hand, alongside strange symbols etched into the ground. The entire area was covered in what appeared to be a mix of human and animal bones, creating an unsettling atmosphere. Though Morris couldn't confirm if the remains were human, the eerie vibe of the site left him shaken. After documenting his discovery, he left the forest and urged authorities to investigate this mysterious and potentially sinister location. This photo was the last image taken of Wesley Stillsmoking, a man who vanished while hunting in October 2018. The image, captured by a trail camera, marked the last known sighting of him. His whereabouts remained a mystery until his remains were discovered in 2022 near Locust Grove. The photo adds an eerie layer to the case, and exactly what happened to him is still unknown. While spotting wildlife in a Canadian forest, a man noticed something unusual. Instead of animals, he saw a strange humanoid figure crouched among the trees. It appeared to be waiting for something, possibly planning an ambush. At one point, the creature seemed to signal to someone or something, suggesting it might not be alone. A cyclist passed by during the recording, but when the camera panned back, the creature had vanished. The man hasn't spotted anything else that day. A Reddit user shared a photo taken near her cabin in Buffalo, New York, describing two unsettling encounters with a strange creature. While the area is known for deer, this one felt different. It stood motionless, staring at her for minutes, and only moved when her boyfriend got very close. She suspects it wasn't a deer at all, but a skinwalker mimicking one. While walking in the woods on a dark night, a hunter suddenly felt something was off. In the distance, he noticed two pairs of glowing eyes staring back at him. He quickly snapped a photo. Later, he brightened the image in a screen recording to prove its authenticity. What emerged was chilling. A pale, human-like figure lurking in the shadows. What made it even stranger was the glowing eyes. Human eyes don't reflect light that way, leaving people to wonder what was truly stalking him. The hunter admitted he had never experienced such an unsettling vibe before. Something about the woods that night just wasn't right. This Reddit user shared eerie footage from their security camera at a secluded mountain home, miles from the nearest town. The video shows a stranger wandering through their yard late at night, ill-equipped for the rugged, dark terrain. The homeowner, who has no neighbors or visitors, found the appearance deeply unsettling. How did they end up in such an isolated area, and why were they there? A Reddit user posted a photo taken at the dense forest edge in North Carolina, claiming it shows a possible spirit. The image features a faint, eerie face that some viewers believe could be a forest spirit. While others suggest it might be a result of pareidolia or even photoshopping, the unsettling presence in the photo has sparked curiosity. However, the image leaves you wondering if the forest holds more than meets the eye. A man living in the southern US was startled awake by eerie sounds coming from the woods. It was pitch black outside, but he managed to record the audio and share it on Reddit. The screams were chilling and unnatural, unlike anything he had ever heard. While he couldn't identify the source, he suspects it might have been a crawler. In a trail cam video shared by a TikToker, a dark figure briefly appears in a densely wooded forest. It seems to resemble a creature, possibly an ape, gorilla, or monkey. While gorillas typically have short necks, this figure appears to have a noticeable one, leading some viewers to believe it could be the legendary Bigfoot. Though little context was provided, the footage is undeniably intriguing. While hunting in the forest, these men stumbled upon something truly extraordinary. In the distance, they spotted a horse with a single horn extending from its forehead. Unlike most cryptids often linked to fear and danger, this enigmatic creature evokes a sense of wonder and fascination. Could this be a clever trick of editing, or did these men actually capture footage of a real-life unicorn? A woman ventured deep into the forest to observe wildlife, but instead she discovered something entirely unexpected. She spotted something large and blurry in the distance. As she recorded, it appeared to be a creature resembling Bigfoot. The most interesting part was seeing the creature's feet, which looked white and unusual. Some viewers believed it was a real Bigfoot, while others thought it was a person in a suit. A hunter was out in the woods when he heard rustling and thought he had spotted an animal, but when he looked closer, it wasn't an animal at all. Unable to see clearly, he grabbed his phone to zoom in. The video he captured, however, only shows a dark, thin figure in the distance, leaving its identity unclear. While many commenters believe it's just a tree stump, the hunter insists it was something unusual, something he had never seen before. What happened after this encounter remains unknown. A hunter was walking to his car when he noticed an animal approaching him from a ditch. As it got closer, its appearance grew increasingly strange, an unsettling mix of monkey and rat-like features, with odd, jerky movements. It attempted to climb out of the ditch, but the footage ends before we see what happens next. The hunter, well versed in the local wildlife, had never encountered anything like it and couldn't identify the creature. Does anyone have an idea of what this could have been? While exploring a new area, a hunter spotted a massive black figure high on a mountainside. Its size was so enormous that it couldn't have been a person. When the hunter shared the video online, people speculated it might be a ghost or an ancient guardian of the region. Word of the sighting spread quickly, turning the area into a popular destination for thrill seekers hoping to catch a glimpse of the mysterious creature. However, despite their efforts, the towering figure was never seen again. A woman went into the woods hoping to find something unusual, and she did.
What is that?
She spotted a strange black creature sitting on the ground. It ran off when she focused her flashlight on it, leaving her scared and running back to her cabin. What was it? Could it have been a prank, or is there something darker hidden in the woods? While driving through the forest, these men encountered something unusual. A rabbit sat motionless between the bushes, but its most striking feature was the set of antlers protruding from its head. This creature is known as a jackalope, a fascinating hybrid of rabbit and antelope from North American folklore. Could this sighting be proof that these animals exist, or is it just the camera angle making it appear as though this rabbit has antlers? Now, let's watch this next terrifying vid.